Ladies and gentlemen, if you blinked, you missed it. What we have accomplished and what we have done in this short time that we have been able to bring about awareness, bring about an awakening. What we have done is we've caused a consciousness shift. Now what are we saying? Well, there have been more than 300,000 our-style Treasury money orders written. And guess what? We are now able to show people and prove to people that it was nothing illegal about that process. The system has had to adjust because of our way of being literal and technical at the same time. Using the system's weapons against the system and the system's laws against the system is what we have perfected. We have decided not to bow down. We have decided not to cower. We have decided to infuse intelligence and understanding and reasoning in people. We know what our responsibilities are, but now we are going to employ many to assist us in helping to have a greater impact. So we tell you, please grab hold and stay on board. This ride is just beginning. Thank you once again. Your friends here at the Redress Right organization.
Ladies and gents, ladies and gentlemen, just wanted to add this to that video that was just done. That will be up by Monday. I'll probably put it up today. Go down to the Wi-Fi hotspot and upload the video today. I am just putting this video up because I need to bring to everyone's attention a little something. We said that there was going to be an event that would take place prior to November 30th. That's our thinking. No, there is nobody telling us that, nobody whispering in our ear, but we're doing everything based on timing. And so as I was going to my Net Zero account, because I have to send out an email through that account because I'm having trouble sending it out through Google, we found this article. It says the Dow suffered triple-digit losses. Interesting. Well, we know the market is being manipulated, and we know that they are causing it to go up and down. Well, let's see. The major U.S. equities averages finishes at a punctuated trading week with steep losses. That's a T. Can't even see the line going across. Steep losses on Friday as October jobs report fell flat ahead of next week's presidential election. The Dow Jones Industrial Average plunged more than 139 points. Now, we've known that a plunge is something you put into a commode. But this plunge is not like other plunges. We've seen the Dow market take more than 1,000 points, and that's considered a plunge. But here, they're letting us know that it's starting to take losses. Everyone, please understand that most of the major things that have ever happened with the stock market has always been during the first week of October. That didn't happen this time. We're believing, this is our belief, that possibly as early as Monday, October 5th, something stupid could happen. That everyone could wake up and the market will have taken a steep dip by Monday evening. We're not sure. We know it's coming soon, and the market will have to be calculated into the equation as to what's about to happen next. Now let's find out. It says the big headline early on Friday was the unemployment report. Now we know in other presidential elections they've held on to the unemployment report until after the election because they didn't want the president to take a hit, which was the last significant piece of the economic data ahead of the Americans going to the polls on November 6th to decide whether President Barack Obama or Mitt Romney would spend the next 4 years in the White House. The people do not get to determine that. So why are they lying to you? They know that. The people reporting the news know this. They know that you don't pick the president. They know that the people don't pick the president. Well, who picks the president? The Electoral College. Whoa, the Electoral who? The Electoral College. Well, who is these people? They claim that these people are elected by the people. They're elected by the people? How can they be elected by the people? Well, that's what they claim. But I'm one of the people. I ain't never remember picking none of them fools. Well, no. See, you must understand. They say that the people pick these people. Okay. Well, so they say it. How do we prove that they pick these people? Well, you can't, because they control the system. And as long as the people don't know what the people should know, then the people are better off. How could somebody be better off not knowing something? Well, that's the point. Technically, you're not better off not knowing, but that's what they do. That don't seem right. They call this a democracy. Yeah, they call it a democracy. You'll hear them call it a democracy all the time. But just because you name your cat D-O-G doesn't make her a dog. Huh? Well, calling a cat D-O-G, 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 dog, doesn't make it a dog. Oh, I see. So just because you call something something doesn't actually make it that. That's correct. That don't feel right. But that's the way the system works. You see, what the system does is it sits up there and it makes people see what isn't there. Huh? Well, for instance, they tell everybody it's a democracy. And the United States has never been a democracy. There's nothing in the so-called Constitution stating that the United States is a democracy. But everybody believes it's a democracy because they keep calling it a democracy when it's always been a republic. Well, yeah, we to the republic for which it stands. It stands as a republic. That's right. And because it stands as a republic, most people in the United States of North America have no idea that it's a republic. Yeah, because I really didn't know that either. I've been saying that all my life. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God. Yes, many people have been saying that. And they say it often. But they never pay attention to the words. You know, like songs. We listen to songs all the time. And for instance, Prince, back in the day, did a song called Darling Nikki. Now, everybody knew what that song was about. But a lot of people who heard it didn't get it. And then he did another song called Adore. And in Adore, you know, the man actually said, I ain't effing just for kicks. He actually curses in the song. He did another song called Erotic City. And in that song, he says, we can F into the break of dawn. And they played that on the radio. You see, they often say things that we don't pay attention to. But you have some people who critique everything. Oh, like the song in the background, nothing compares to you because that's what you do. Exactly. So, basically what we're doing is we're helping people to come to a better understanding of things. We're helping them to understand that the stock market has been manipulated from the very beginning. That the lotteries have been manipulated from the very, very beginning. When you find out that the lottery is not owned by the state, even though it's called the state's lottery, when you find out that it's not owned by the states and that the schools are not receiving the monies coming from the lottery, that's why these schools are having to fire teachers because they don't have enough money. The monies are not going to the schools as individuals were promised originally. Oh, that politician thing, when the politicians make these promises? Exactly. They promise a lot of things, but they never carry out their promises. But what can we do about that they don't carry out their promises? Well, there is really nothing you can do. You see, everybody's out there talking about revolution and rising up against the system and rising up against tyranny. Oh, no. You don't get to do that. The system will not let you do that. That's not right. Exactly, it's not right. But that's what the system does. The system does that to people. Well, there's got to be something we can do. Well, basically, just like when you get in a car and you're unsure of the driver's ability to maneuver and transgress through the city, what do? Well, the first thing I do is I put on my seatbelt when I get in the car. That's correct. We need you to buckle up because it's going to be a bumpy ride. But we got to be able to do something. No, the time for doing something is way past. There is nothing that you can do. They've already put all of the pieces of the puzzle in position. Okay? They've already put the pieces of the puzzle in position. So it's too late. When they were starting to put the pieces of the puzzle in position, we should have been doing something. When they came up with Agenda 21 in the 1990s, people should have been doing something. But it's too late. Well, I heard somebody say the other day that they went to court and they told the court they were not a U.S. citizen, and the court made the comment, then that means they wanted to go to Guantanamo Bay. Yeah, I believe the court would say something stupid like that. Because you don't want to walk in court and just make the statement, I am not a U.S. citizen. You want to follow that statement by saying, I'm an American national. Just that simple. Well, how does that make a difference? Because if you're an American national, the military has no authority over you. You see, they passed that law. What law? The law Barack Obama signed almost a year ago. Oh, the American Defense, the Defense of America Act, right? Yes, the Defense of America Act. And when they passed that act, it allowed them to arrest American citizens. Yeah, I remember them saying that they were going to be able to arrest American citizens. That's why you are a non-citizen national. Well, that's just a word. How are you going to protect yourself with words? Ladies, gentlemen, and even you, sir, we don't know. See, that's the unique thing about everything that's going on. We don't have all the answers. Well, can you give us an example? Well, yeah, I can give you several examples. We had someone email us today, and basically they asked the question if we could help them with their IRS issue, that the IRS is now garnishing their wages. They placed a levy on them, and they don't know what to do. And so, although we have techniques that we can use, our place in this whole arrangement of things is not IRS. We don't deal with IRS issues because we have not studied extensively. We do know that Title 26 of the code, which is the IRS code, has never been ratified. We do know that we're not taxpayers. We know these things, and we don't have issues with the IRS, so we've never had to challenge them, nor have they ever challenged us. But what can people do? Well, they can do their research. They can see that the IRS has no authority or power, that they're not even a U.S. governmental agency. Okay, you just mentioned that in court. Ask them, are they a United States government agency? Now, there is something we can do. We got this window up. Let's do this. I'm trying to think of, let's see. Nope. Give me 1 second. It's going to spell the word correctly for me because I spelled the word wrong because it's a legalese term. There is a gentleman who filed a lawsuit against the IRS. As a matter of fact, with Tevin Campbell asking everyone to come back to the world, I'm going to need you all to hold on for a split second. Oh, you're going to come back to us? Like he's asking people to come back to the world, right? Yes, and I wonder why would he make a song Come Back to the World? I mean, even though he says his world, he also says come back to the world. Hold on 1 second, please. Well, okay, here we're going to deal with... Oh, you back already? Well, it was longer for me than it was for you because all I did was hit pause. So, for you all... it was only just a couple of seconds. For me, it was actually about 10 minutes. Well, how does that work? Well, no, we'll get into that later. But what we have to do is we have to talk about the IRS because you wanted an example of some of the things that we're not handling right now. Oh, well, yeah. I got it. Well, see, I almost forgot because of the amount of time it took. But because of you remembered. Well, no. we're not going to go there, okay? We're going to go ahead and handle this. It says a major lawsuit against the Commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service is now in the Supreme Court. It's called a certiorari. Certiorari. It's a very ignorant name. And here's another lawsuit that is filed, okay? And decisions based on this lawsuit. Now, we're not doing this video to highlight IRS lawsuits, but people want to know what can they do as far as lawsuits. Now, I believe this petition was denied, okay, but I'm not sure. But this shows you all the rules and the dates and the information in the petitions. Now, basically, the reason why I'm showing you this is because people are calling us and asking us questions. But what they're failing to do is they're failing to do research on just the issue. Well, let me see if I can explain better. If you have an issue with the IRS, I have several issues with the IRS. Okay, well then this will be good for you. This will be a good lesson for you to gather information from. What you do is you look for lawsuits that people have filed against the entity or complaints that people have filed against the entity, such as complaints against Walmart, and you type that in Google, or complaints against the IRS, and you type that in Google, and then you'll get to read the complaints and get to read the things that people have done. Then you get the lawsuits, and you want to look at the arguments people are bringing. For instance, notice this one. Sorry, my cat is messing with things it isn't supposed to, so I had to throw a broom at it. You threw a broom at a cat? Well, yes, I threw a broom at a cat, but the broom didn't hit the cat. It was only to get the cat to get away from the area because she was doing something behind me that just didn't appreciate. But you threw a broom at it. Yeah, I threw a broom at it, not hit her with the broom, but threw a broom in the direction of the cat. That's not nice. Well, no, it is nice because I threw it slowly because the cat is faster than the broom. The cat is faster than the broom. Oh, that's a pretty good saying. Are you going to say that often? The cat is faster than the broom? Oh, definitely. My saying. I'm going to hold on to it, okay? I just came up with it right now, so it's mine. Yeah, you can have that one. I don't think anybody else will want to hold on to it or keep it, so you can keep that one. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And it says, the first and second in command of the IRS have resigned. Commissioner Doug Schumann steps down, and IRS Deputy Commissioner Mark Ernst resigns. They walked away. The Supreme Court case number 12-6169. In the Supreme Court of the United States of America, you have Jeffrey Mar. I'm believing that's how you spell that. I pronounce that. He's the petitioner, pro se, versus the Commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service, respondent, petition for writ of certiorari to the United States Supreme Court, 10th Circuit petition for writ of certiorari. Now, this is what we need to make sure all of you know so that you get it. This individual is going pro se. If I was all of you, I would be in support of him because he did something that very few of you would be willing to do. And many of you can come in as interested parties into this particular certiorari request if you know what you're doing. And if I was you, if you know what you're doing, I would do that. But I'm afraid of the IRS. And you know, the IRS can do so many things to people. Well, you're absolutely right that they're a very powerful organization. However, the more people that stand behind this man and know about Jeffrey and what he's doing, the more protected he is. Wait. How can he be protected? He's just one person. No. The fact that many people know what he's doing, he becomes more than one person. The more people who know what he's doing, the better protected he is from the stupidity and the ignorance that's out there. So what Jeffrey has done is he said, I'm as mad as, and I'm not going to take it anymore. And basically, Jeffrey gets to be that way. He gets to do that. Oh, well, okay. All right, now let's continue. It says, see attached in, or in following email. Now, we're going to look at, not the whole case, we're just going to look at the issues. He asked these questions. Is the respondent's income tax schemes a direct or indirect tax, or is it some other lawful taxation form as yet unclear by the courts that counters standing in case law. Basically, let me make sure you understand the nature of his question. You see, there can be no direct tax on the people of the United States. That's the Constitution that says that. No direct tax. So they give you indirect taxes. So that's why he's asking, is it a direct tax or an indirect tax? Wait a minute, I thought you said you didn't know about IRS issues. Well, no, I know about these issues because I've been covering lawsuits and things for several years, and so I've gone over certain things, and I've always known since I was 15 that I'm not a taxpayer. I'm not a citizen of any country. If you're not a citizen, then what are you? I'm a non-citizen national, as recognized not only under law, but recognized by me, per se. Sorry, the cat just came back and I had to push a chair the cat's way. You pushed the chair towards the cat? That sounds very mean. No, I slid the chair with my hand still on it, and I did it ever so slowly. That's why you didn't hear a lot of noise in the background. If I had thrown the chair at the cat, which is what I am prone to do if it keeps bothering me, you would actually throw a chair? Yes, I would. I'd throw a fit too. All right, let's go. How do you throw a fit? I mean, do you literally just pick it up? I mean, some fits are just too heavy, so you just pick it up and you just toss it? If you keep bothering me, then I'm going to show you how one can throw a fit. Oh, now you want to get mean. Now you want to be aggressive. Nope, just want to finish this. So, shut up and let me finish. Okay? Well, you told me to shut up, so how can I shut up and keep talking at the same time? Exactly. All right, so shut up. Here we go. Does the respondent have the lawful and constitutional authority to presume, to define income also to include all that comes in, and to include wages, salary, and compensation for services contrary to this honorable court's provisional rulings in page 10? He puts that in his original, showing the laws and the rulings by the court. This is what I want you to understand. The IRS is claiming income. Many people don't understand that legal tender is not income. It has not been given a value of worth in law. Supreme Court has ruled that as far as its worth is monetary, or what's the word for it? Market value, it has none. But that every dollar is equal in value. Okay. Can the respondents violate the Paperwork Reduction Act by claiming that the petitioner or any American is lawfully required to file a 1040 that is labeled bootleg by Congress if it fails the PRA? You know, I don't know what PRA stands for. Paperwork Reduction Act. Sorry, I do know what PRA stands for. It just took me a second. Whew. Can the respondents be acting under the name Internal Revenue Service and be lawfully sending said deficiencies and other documents using United States mail to the petitioner or any other citizen when the entity known as the Internal Revenue Service was lawfully canceled by the U.S. Treasury Department in 2005? You know what? That's a very interesting comment there. They are representing an agency that is no longer even classified as an agency, and they are coming in under the title IRS. But I believe that when they do the title, the caption IRS, as we see here, they're referring to the Internal Revenue Service. All right, let's see what the next question is. Get that. I think we are right here. Too much. And just one. Can the respondent's IRS be acting against the petitioner or any state citizen when it is not a U.S. government agency, which the respondents testified to? They will always say that they're not a U.S. governmental agency. Always, because they are not a U.S. governmental agency. Can the respondents lawfully access the petitioner for named years without lawfully requiring assessment under 26 CFR .602.1.3 Internal Revenue Manual, Account Tax Assessment, and Form 23C. In other words, can they lawfully access your information for these years? Okay. He says, are the Supreme Court cases cited in this ongoing and long-standing case, along with other standing cases and congressional testimony, frivolous? Cited in this ongoing long time, along with the other cases, the congressional testimony, frivolous and to be ignored and dismissed by respondents and lower courts without any evidence to support what or how they are frivolous, i.e. evidence in fact. That's the same question I've been asking. The courts have been saying that people's documents are frivolous, unintelligent, ambiguous, and so on and so forth, without giving a single example of the unintelligence and ambiguity. Yes, I understand the word ambiguity. Okay, let's continue. Should the respondents be responsible for knowing the laws it allegedly is following and assessing and declaring deficiencies and taxing outside constitutional parameters, i.e., did respondents know or should have known its own violations were being implemented via fraud? Can the respondents and the court ignore standing and jurisdictional challenges when presented? Very good question. Can a tax court lawfully ignore a motion for clarification as to several relevant questions regarding jurisdiction and Rule 34, so the petitioner had an opportunity to properly amend the original petition and respond to the motion to dismiss? Yes, you're supposed to be able to ask for clarity, and the courts by law is supposed to respond to that motion for clarity. Can the respondent stand on hearsay and presumptions alone, providing no IR code, Internal Revenue Code law, as evidence to prove the petitioner or anyone else is personally required to file a 1040 form? Can the respondents and named courts deprive the petitioner of due process of law in the right to, see, he's using speech recognition because this is supposed to be and the right to be heard on all evidence and challenges presented. When you're using speech recognition like some of us do who are doing a lot of paperwork, you want to put clerical errors can always be amended and or corrected clerically and or verbally, okay, to protect yourself. And you also want to understand that there is a Interpretations Act by Congress allowing the court to construe or interpret things however they choose. So you want to let them know that the Interpretations Act is prohibited from being utilized in this matter, as I am a live man and capable of speaking for myself and explaining my actions or giving reasons as to why, when, where, how, who, and what. Okay? Can the petitioner, and not exactly in those words, but explaining the verbiage in verbatim. Oh, you mean you don't want them to use those words because you just came up with them in your own head right now? Yes, exactly. And because I have not perfected that, and I've only articulated that in several pleadings, I haven't quite articulated it in the way I just said. Well, why couldn't you just said it the way that you said it? Because we're always evolving. Oh, evolution! No, not evolution as in how man came about, because there's no such thing as evolution as far as man is concerned. What do you mean? The scientists said that there is evolution. There's evolution in animals, there's evolution in plant life, there's evolution in sea life, there's evolution everywhere. Yes, which is the reason why you don't see pigs giving birth to cats, and cats giving birth to pigs, or cows giving birth to whales, and whales giving birth to cows. If we all came from the same microorganism, then we would all be producing the same other organisms. Like kind. Cats do not produce elephants, and elephants do not produce cats. And vice versa, doesn't matter. If we came from the same organism, then that means that there will be cross species every day of the week. And you notice that you cannot cross species. A man cannot have sex with an elephant and produce an L-man. Okay? Nor can a giraffe have sex with a cat and produce a carafe. Oh, like the cheese, Kraft cheese. Exactly. It don't work that way. So no, I'm not talking about that type of evolution which is only based on theory, which has no hypothesis. Wait, what's a hypothesis? A hypothesis, not a hippopotamus. A hypothesis is basically something that is based on fact. Okay, something that has a basis, a foundation. And evolution has no foundation. Wait, but they teach it in all the schools. Yes, they teach it in all the schools. And they have Charles Darwin. Yes, they had Charles Darwin, who was not the inventor of evolution. He actually borrowed that idea from someone else. And before he died, he actually recanted everything about evolution, said that he was wrong. And of course he was wrong, because there was never any factual proof, and science is based on experiment after experiment after experiment, and the ending results of that being fact. Well, evolution has no ending results. Well, what about the paleontologists and everybody else who say they found the Cro-Magnon man and I can't remember all those stupid names of all those other entities that they said progressed and went from this man to that man? Yes, that's right. What you nor everyone else took into consideration as far as evolution is concerned is the shapes of the heads that you find in previous cultures. It is still a process used in Africa and so many other countries where individuals shape people's heads when they're babies. You'll have the family just sitting up there and rubbing the head to make the skull, which is very soft at that time, to reshape the skull to where it is according to their tradition, according to their doctrine, according to their way of life. But you will notice one thing. The rest of them are all human. The rest of the skeleton is all human. The only thing they see is the different shaped skull, which is done by manipulation of the hands. Just rubbing the hands on the skull to create the shape desired. What it does is it literally moves hairlines. That's how you can tell when someone has had this hand shaping thing. It is for a lot of African tribes, a lot of Indian tribes, this was something that they did. It was to have all of the people of that tribe look alike, have the same characters and features, whether or not they came from the same parents. Oh, that was a very interesting lesson, but can we get back to the IRS? Yes, let's get back to the IRS. Can the respondent in the named court deprive the petitioner of his due process right of law and the right to be heard? See, in the right to be heard, as I said before, it's and the right to be heard on all evidence and challenges presented. Can the petitioner file a 1040V information form and not be willing to give up his Fifth Amendment right to not self-incriminate? In other words, if he does a 1040V, is he protected by the Fifth Amendment? Can a respondent in the tax court not be required to provide proper notice of service of order and judgment to the petitioner and a citizen? No, they are required. It's under equal protection of law. Is the petitioner made a 14th Amendment citizen by the respondents through hearsay and presumption, thereby bringing him under the respondent's jurisdiction? Yes. Are they doing him as a 14th Amendment citizen? Of course they are. That's the only way they can tax him, because you have to be a government agent and or property to be taxed. You have to be a citizen. That's why. Wait. Never gonna get it, 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 never gonna get it. Whoa, 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 whoa! Never gonna get it, 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 never get it. All right. The reason why I stopped there, because that's what I used in the Never Gonna Get It intro, where we say that some of you will just never get it. So, wait, I remember that. Yeah, but it was a lot faster, huh? Yeah, we sped it up because we wanted it to go faster than what it actually did. But it sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Oh, I liked it. It came in right on time, and it kind of ended right on time. Yes, exactly. So, like the information we're showing you, this information right here, and why this case? Because he asked pertinent questions. Maybe not the most articulate questions on the planet, but he asked legitimate questions. He's also, by the questions he's asking and by the way that I am actually bringing it to your attention, letting you know what your arguments to the IRS are. So you should be conditionally accepting and doing a negative adverment. What's a conditional acceptance and negative adverment? Well, you're going to type those two words in Google. You're going to do one conditional acceptance and the next negative adverments. Okay, just type that in Google and you'll see many templates. Okay, all right. So as Shanice, and as I told you guys about this song, I'm tired of it. I was tired of it when it first came out because they played it 28,000 times a day. So we're gonna play the Spinners so that y'all can understand. This better be the Spinners. Yeah, it's a one-of-a-kind love affair. Okay, the Spinners used to be my favorite group. It takes a fool to learn. And a lot of people are fools. And they still won't learn. Okay, so want to make sure that you all get what's going on here. What we are trying to do is we're trying to fill in blanks. But we have never promised you that we have all the answers. We have said that we know everything, but that's all that we know. Okay, we know nothing about nothing, but we know everything about everything. And that will always be the case. So many of you are still trying to ask questions, and you're being ignored now. And if you continue, like we told you, you're going to be blocked. We're not here to answer your questions, especially not now. Too much work going on. And this day I should be doing research, and I should be finishing up letters, sending letters out to people, but I'm still answering emails. 26 emails overnight. Just from 12 a.m. until 7 a.m. this morning, 26 emails. Okay, and I have a commitment to myself that I respond to every single email. Well, one person told me that she was not going to be my punching bag. What happened? Well, she purchased a money pack, and she sent it to us after the first, which is on or after the first. She sent it to us on the second, 12:10 a.m. Well, we had already put out the video saying that the contribution would be $180 for anything after the first. So we receive it at 12:10 a.m. and we remind the person that they can pay the difference. Now, we made a mistake, told them it was $50, and I forgot because I was thinking at the door as opposed to thinking in addition to. So I emailed the person back within 15 minutes, said, no, that was my fault. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. I apologize. It will be 180, not 150. Then the person sent me back an email saying, well, I contacted AT&T, and they said that it went out on the first, and that the email was tampered with. And I, like, tampered with? Excuse me? How can they prove that the email was tampered with? And show me that evidence. She provided nothing, no conversation, no paperwork, no nothing. Told me that they said the email was tampered with and she should not have to pay another $30. I told her, well, first of all, I don't play games. In other words, I'm not going to tamper with some stupid email just to get over on somebody. And I said, second, this is the way it is, not the way it was. And I just asked the person just to leave it alone. Well, they emailed me back, and they told me that they're not my punching bag. That they are not some funky, or no, excuse me, not funky, but flunky, like the other people. That they are ethical. That they went to some Christian seminary. So I wrote them back and I said, well, first of all, you're absolutely right. I said, you are 100% right. You are nobody's punching bag, especially not mine. And because you're not my punching bag, let me tell you what we're going to do. We're going to tell you that you're no longer welcome to the seminar. We'll have the schedule up for you guys by Tuesday. But we're letting the person know you're no longer welcome. You cannot attend. We don't want people there with attitudes. That's, ladies and gentlemen, I can explain this to you because all of you will understand. At least 60 people will be at the seminar who's never watched a single one of my videos prior to September of this year. At least 60 people. Okay, because they're coming as a result of word of mouth. I'm very disappointed in that because I only want you people there. When I say you people, like Ross Perot? No, not like Ross Perot. I'm talking about the people who view the videos. Let's do that. Let's show you the numbers. No, wrong one. It's supposed to be opening up. I opened up the wrong email, so I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be opening up Opera. We'll let Opera open up because it's right here. No, that's uploads. I don't want to upload. I want to go to the channel. I'll be uploading in about 3 hours. I'll be going down to the Wi-Fi hotspot and uploading. And then I will be working on my signal capabilities. I will have at least 4G here very soon. to where I can upload my videos from my own place. Okay? So many things going on, people, that it's not your burden. But, ladies and gentlemen, we do our videos a certain way for a reason. All the joking, all the clowning, all the voices, all the music, not everybody can handle that. You see, although the music is comforting, and the people who have real objective minds can pay attention to my voice and the music doesn't distract them, whereas the people who don't have objective minds cannot, because the music is too distracting and they cannot follow along, because their mind does not have the ability of multitasking. Even though they've convinced themselves that they can multitask, their minds cannot multitask because they think along a certain line. All of you who get what I'm doing and get what I'm saying, these videos are designed for that reason, because I'm trying to reach a certain audience and nobody gets it. They think that there's not an art to all this madness. And the Jacksons sang a song called There's an Art to All This Madness. Let me see if I can find that song while I'm waiting for... There you go. Internet Explorer doesn't work like it should. But let me see if I can find that song, because I'm interested in an art to all this madness, since somebody wants to stand by somebody. And we'll play Art to All This Madness as the last song before we get Ghost. Let's go to music. It ain't empty, it's full. Okay, A-R-T. Nope, it's not on this computer. Oh well, I can't play an art to all this madness, but there is an art to all this madness. Now, as you all have seen, this right here, when I keep telling you we extrapolate so many numbers, so roughly about 360,000 of you are individuals who are capable and able to handle this information. The other ones are not. Sorry. That's why the videos are done the way they're done. That's why we don't do any advertisement. How did you find out? How did you find out about the Redress Right YouTube channel? Either somebody told you, or you did a search on the internet through YouTube on a particular conversation or something, and it pulled up Redress Right YouTube channel. No advertisement, word of mouth, and people looking for the information. That's how you find us. Well, we're grateful to all of you for finding us that way. But the ones of you who could not sit through the whole video, who say, well, that man's got ADD and ADHD, and he got a bunch of other DDs that he don't even know about. Exactly. Those of you who believe and think that, you don't belong here. And quite frankly, I can say it confidently, because I don't need you here. I need the people who are interested, the people who want to know. And there's something else we built, a reputation for stick-to-itness. Stick-to-itness? That doesn't even sound like a word. Well, it just means we stick to what we say. We keep our word. We follow through. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I guess it's a word if you can do it that way. If you can apply your own definition to it. Well, it's not just our definition. It's the actual definition for the word. No, it ain't. I ain't never seen stick-to-itness anywhere. Well, look it up one day. Okay, and if it ain't nowhere, then you'll find that we created it and it's now ours, and we can give our own definition to our own words. See, that's the thing about the Interpretations Act. When we say it doesn't apply to us, it doesn't apply to us. We can give our own meaning to our own words, because we are the ones producing those words. See, as I said in one video, I was going to come up with a language called Slovakian. And Slovakian was going to be my language. Okay? My language. But languages, coming up with your own language, is a little bit difficult. That's why it took the courts so many hundreds of years to come up with legalese. Okay. Let's see if we can continue. So, at the seminar, there will be people there who will be impatient because they are so used to things being the way that they're used to being. We're not having food catered in because we want people to get to know each other. We want you guys to go and eat at the restaurants surrounding the hotel. We don't want you to eat the food catered into the hotel. That's California, and I'm telling you, I know California. A lot of the food is good, but some of the people, it's just bland. The food is just food. But you can go to some places like the little Tams or Tom's restaurants, and they're literally called Tams, T-A-M''S, and Tom's, T-O-M''S, restaurants. And they're hamburger stands. And they make this thing called the Colossal Burger. And if any of you have never been to California and you've never, ever had the delight of eating a Colossal Burger from Tams or Tom's, I'm going to suggest you try a Colossal Burger, because I promise you, one of the first burgers I eat in California will be a Colossal Burger, because I miss it like crazy. How can you miss a hamburger? You get hamburgers everywhere. McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Burger King, Carl's Jr., Hardee's. I mean, there's hamburger places everywhere. No. Not like the Colossal Burgers from Tams or Tom's. Are you now advertising for Tams and Tom's? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh, and their milkshakes are to die for. See, this is what I can do. Those of you who are coming to California, you won't really have a lot of time to go see all of the sites, but I guarantee you will have some time. So go and take a look at some of the sites. You know, the people who will be coming with me, the one thing we're going to do is we're going to Venice Beach. At least one day while we're there, we're taking a trip to Venice Beach so I can let them see the world famous Muscle Beach and the basketball courts to which I used to frequent when I was younger. Younger? You mean like 9 years ago? Yep, 9 years ago. For a total of 11 years, Venice Beach was every weekend thing, including during the winter. During the winter? Doesn't it get cold? Yes, but it doesn't stop people from playing basketball. Oh, and we love going to the gyms because they have basketball gyms that had air conditioning and heating. And so we enjoyed playing basketball in the winter. Really? California's just a basketball state, huh? That's right. More so than Indiana. Indiana? Yeah, the Indiana Hoops. Oh, there's no team called the Indiana Hoops. Well, you go and look and see how they hoop all the time. They be hooping? Yep. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing us to bring this information to your attention. We do appreciate so very much those of you understanding that we are not here to provide everything to you, because we cannot. It will be impossible. There are too many subjects. But you will be able to pay attention to one thing, that unlike many organizations out there, we cover so many subjects on so many things that it is completely unique and wonderful. Hey, we ain't playing that today. That's Lil Jon and Usher. No, we're going to play Moving Mountains. Do I have it on here? Nope, I don't have Moving Mountains. Okay, tribute to Left Eye. Y'all don't know who Left Eye is? Well, just go ahead and pull up a picture of TLC and you'll be able to see exactly who Left Eye is. Okay? Sorry about that young woman and the accident that she was in and the fact that she is no longer with us, but I like Left Eye. I liked her attitude. I liked her personality. Left Eye was all right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to leave you with the understanding that we're going to continue to try to produce and try to put forth information that is beneficial to you and those around you. And if you're truly willing to do the research and do the homework, then by all means, we can help you. Some of you must understand something. We said originally we wasn't going to be giving the information at the seminar to the public, and that is true. The majority of the information, the majority of the letters, you will not be seeing ever. Not from us. The people at the seminar will be disseminating that, and yes, some of them will be implementing that in their own processes and charging people. We don't have a problem with that. It is a lot of work. Okay? It is a lot of work, so we don't have a problem with that. But we guarantee you, nobody will be able to beat the contribution that we attribute to this process of $650 for handling people's mortgages. No one. And even though it should be more, we needed to make sure that we provided the competition for the competition so that they understand that they cannot do better than us. And so that all of you understand what's going on at this seminar. The more than 25 people who are going to be there are people who are from other locations who charge people for their mortgages, and they're coming to add to their process the stuff that we have that they don't already have. Because we are moving mountains. I wish I could have had that, this is an instrumental, okay. I wish I could have had the Usher song, Moving Mountains, but I don't. I have a lot of instrumentals. These are all instrumentals for the most part down here. Let's go up. Give me a second. No Citizen Cope right now. I'm trying to figure out something that, because see, all the other songs that have come on have been, yeah, let's do this. Hey, people, Precious Moments by the Emotions. Even though this one is, they say it's entitled When Will I See You Again. It goes by both names, When Will I See You Again or Precious Moments, but it's actually called Precious Moments. And so let's explain just one more time how things are working out. We're going to provide some information, not all the information to you, because we are trying to empower people. We're going to allow these people to take this process and expose it to the rest of the world, to all of the banks. Why? Because we need to go at them. But we can't go at them individually. We have to go at them as corporations. When you're filing your documents, you notice that you're not getting anywhere. And people think that there's a problem. No, when you file your documents, we go after these idiots as corporations. That's how they pay attention. Because as a corporation, you now have teeth within their system. And that's how we are approaching them. As I told you, we just received a letter from a bunch of attorneys yesterday, which we'll be finishing up when we come home from putting these videos up on the internet. And when we finish these letters up, I promise you we'll be getting everybody's attention. I promise you we'll be getting the attorney's attention, and I promise you, after this week, this is when heads start to roll. This is where we put them where they're supposed to be. This is where we take care of the documentation that we need to take care of. This is the week that we do what we need to do. We had to set everything in place before they reset the system. We had to get everything in place so that we are grandfathered in. That's why there was so much of a rush to get this stuff done and to get these mortgages done. All of the mortgages are finally done. They're all out. And you know what? Just about every single bank has, well, they've stopped their foreclosures, but here's the unique thing. They've all defaulted. So we've already sent them out the notice of default, and now we're going to send them out their notice of our intent, what we plan on doing to them. Some of you have been contacting us saying, well, you want to be a part of the lawsuit? All right, so this is what we're doing. We need you to send us an email telling us you want to be a part of the lawsuit. The amount of monies or contribution for being part of the lawsuit, the mass action lawsuit, will be $320. Why 300? Is that so? No, because go back and look. To be a part of other class action or mass actions, it takes $7,000 to $10,000 per individual coming into the lawsuit. You don't believe me? Go ahead and look at the Spire Group. They're the ones going after the IRS, the United States Corporation, and they're going after all of the banks. And look at the Spire Group. $7,000 for you to get in on that lawsuit. $320 covers the paperwork, covers the research, covers the investigations, covers the putting together the suit in such an articulate way where everything is proofread, there are no mistakes. So if you'd like to be introduced into that lawsuit, then what you'll have to do, and this is the key thing, you must pay attention to this because this is either everything, this is the most perfect thing. If you choose to send through Western Union, which we're going to advise most of you do, when you choose to send through Western Union, you will save $20 by only sending $200, which will defray the cost of sending through Western Union by sending $300, not $200. So if you go through Western Union, it is $300. If you go through any other source, then it is, get this, you can go through the Walmart Money Pack, and it will be $320. Technically $325 because you're buying the Walmart Pack card, and that's $4.95. So we're letting you know now. Now again, we've already told you about the job opportunities. We're looking for people who are adapt to lawsuits, who are not afraid of going after government entities. Ladies and gentlemen, as I told you, Jeffrey, this is Jeffrey. Look who he's going up against. The IRS. The Internal Revenue Service. And if I was him, I would refile my lawsuit, and I would literally do it against the Internal Revenue Service. Okay, that's what I would do. I would stay away from the IRS, the corporation, and I'd go after the Internal Revenue Service. Or I'd go after the United States Department of the Treasury, 1789. Like I said, he loses this case. There are so many different angles and other ways he can go after them. You have to learn how to manipulate the system. So in the last video, we need people who have knowledge and skills on filing lawsuits. Oh, my song, Bonnie Tyler. She just wants him to turn around. Just turn around. Okay. Love this song, by the way. I just love the highs, the lows, the melody, the rhythm, listen to the piano in the background. No other music, just a light little tapping of the piano. And her voice gets higher and higher. See? And now she gets louder. Perfect. It really was a perfect song. And for the time period that it came out, the late 80s, a perfect song. Because, let's just say because, let's go on. Alright. We'll also need individuals who are capable and who have knowledge, experience, years of experience, not just 1 or 2, years of experience in dealing with debt correction, debt collectors, and individuals who have real estate experience, being a realtor, or being, what's the other thing? Realtor, what's the other thing? Come on, a broker. And finally, we'll need individuals who have been realtors or involved in real estate on any other avenue of real estate who have years of experience. Okay? And then I said finally for the last one, and I forgot what I was going to say, so that's why I just said realty. The next one, individuals that we will need, is individuals who are notaries. Okay? Remember, look at the case law. Notaries are magistrates. And a lot of you don't realize that you're a magistrate, that you are a judicial officer. Okay? We're needing notaries who can be utilized for assisting us in getting documents out. We are not going to do the notarial default method because a lot of notaries have lost their license as a result of that. So we're not going to have the notary put their necks on the line. It's not what we're here for. And like we said, the individuals who are going to be doing the paperwork, we've already got those individuals set aside, already let them know they'll be hearing from us after the 15th of November. Okay? And this is all designed that just in case something happens to me, let's just say they don't want me to be free no more because they want to put a stop to what I'm doing. It's okay because we already have the people set up, put in place to continue this even if something should happen. Gotta position all the pieces in place. It's a chess game. You're absolutely right. And when you're playing chess, what must you not be afraid to do? Sacrifice? Sacrifice. Yes, chess is a game about sacrifices. You are willing to sacrifice your pawns. You're willing to sacrifice your rooks. You're willing to sacrifice your bishops. Well, who can't you sacrifice? Well, you can never sacrifice the king. Why not? Because the king is the piece on the puzzle, on the board, who, if he dies, you lose. Well, no, not in real life. If the king dies, then the queen or his son becomes king. Yes, in real life. Well, why can't we look at chess as if it's real life? So if you lose your king, your queen can now step up and she can be an Elizabeth. No, we don't want one like Elizabeth. Not even the first or the second. Whew. No, we don't want a Queen Elizabeth the first or the second. Nope, nope, nope. We want a Joan of Arc queen. A Joan of Arc queen. Aggressive, huh? Yes. And willing to take on things. There you go. Okay, so there we go. We got a queen. Well, who's the son? Well, the son hasn't been introduced to the game yet. So once the king dies, then the son can step up. Really? Well, that won't make the queen king, will it? Well, technically no, but the queen will be there as an advisor to the son, who will be king. Oh. Only in a fairy tale, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again. Ask all of you to have a good day, good night, good evening, good morning. Whatever it is you have, let it be good. RedressRight.org, Redress Right YouTube channel, and Redress.Right on Skype. We're going to let Bonnie Tyler take us out of here, but thank you for allowing me to share this particular petition by Jeffrey Murr against the IRS Internal Revenue Service. Next time, people. Oh no, I got to hear the end of the song, so I figured y'all got to hear it too. Goodbye.
Redress Right. Presentation. Redress Right. Presentation. RedressRight.org. RedressRight.org. Redress Right. Redress Right. Presentation. RedressRight.org. Redress Right. RedressRight.org. RedressRight.org. Presentation. RedressRight.org. Redress Right. RedressRight.org. RedressRight.org. Presentation.